Good evening, viewers. You're tuned in to ICRT, keeping you informed.
ICRT!
Central Bank Governor Yang Jinglong has reassured the public that Taiwan's risk exposure to U.S. dollars is not as high as the International Monetary Fund's estimate. Yang's comments follow an IMF report released in mid-January that said Taiwan has the highest U.S. dollar exchange rate exposure in the world. It noted that Taiwan's U.S. dollar asset holding amount to 45 times the monthly trading volume of its foreign exchange market, compared with South Korea's 25 times. This also means that Taiwan's foreign exchange market lacks depth, and it may be unable to digest such a huge shock in a short period of time. Yang today called the IMF's assessment of Taiwan's exchange rate risk exposure a misunderstanding, saying his bank's calculation puts the figure at around 20 times. Therefore, Yang said he's not very nervous, adding that the central bank will take the IMF's views into consideration. He noted that as of the end of 2025, Taiwan's foreign exchange reserves were about $602.5 billion US dollars, and foreign currency deposits held by the private sector in domestic banks totaled about $300 billion. These figures indicate that foreign currency funding supply is ample, with both foreign currency stock and flow remaining abundant.
Risk exposure. Exchange rate exposure. Asset holdings. Foreign exchange market. Lacks depth. Take into consideration. Foreign exchange reserves.
The Dresden International School is expanding its campus due to an influx of children from Taiwan's semiconductor manufacturing employees. TSMC's Dresden plant is expected to open next year, and the local international school is working to accommodate an increase in the number of children from Taiwan who will be moving there with their families. The school says it expects to see 100 Taiwanese students next year, and that will represent 1/5 of the school's total student body. According to the local Dresden media, the school was founded 30 years ago, and TSMC's move to the city was an opportunity for the school to expand. The school has reportedly already added Chinese language courses to its curriculum.
Influx. Accommodate. Student body. Curriculum. Expand. Represent. Opportunity.
Taiwan Lottery is offering a record-breaking 1.2 billion NT in bonus prizes for the upcoming Lunar New Year. The company says it will hold daily draws for 20 days starting on February 12th. One of the games will feature 480 extra prizes worth 1 million NT each and 800 smaller prizes worth 100,000 NT each. And other games like Bingo Bingo will also offer higher prize amounts for 5 days starting on February 27th. The company expects the record-high bonuses to help increase total sales by 6.6 billion NT this holiday season.
Record-breaking. Bonus prize. Draw. Extra prize. Payout. Expect. Increase.
An inter-island ferry with more than 350 on board has sunk in the southern Philippines after midnight local time. Rescuers have saved at least 316 passengers and retrieved 15 bodies. Officials say the MV Trisha Kirsten III, a cargo and passenger ferry, was sailing to southern Jolo Island in Sulu Province from the port city of Zamboanga with 332 passengers and 27 crew members when it apparently encountered technical problems and sank. The cause of the ferry sinking was not immediately clear, and officials say there will be an investigation. They add that the Coast Guard cleared the ferry before it left the Zamboanga port, and there was no sign of overloading.
Ferry. Passenger. Crew member. Technical problem. Sank. Investigation. Coast Guard.
Japanese panda fans gathered for a final public viewing at Tokyo's Ueno Zoo before twins Xiao Xiao and Lei Lei return to China. Their departure tomorrow will leave Japan without a panda for the first time in more than half a century. The panda twins have attracted massive crowds despite a 1-minute viewing limit set by the zoo ahead of their departure. Xiao Xiao and his sister Lei Lei were born in the Ueno Zoo in 2021. Beijing lends pandas to other countries but maintains ownership, including over any cubs they reproduce.
Public viewing. Departure. Panda twins. Massive crowd. Viewing limit. Ownership. Reproduce.
Taipei MRT is advising passengers against the use of power banks inside stations due to potential fire hazards. The warning follows a recent scare on the Bannan line where an overheating power bank began smoking, causing panic and forcing hundreds of passengers to transfer to another train. Metro officials say there have been 5 similar incidents over the past 3 years. They also pointed to a recent fire on the Tokyo Metro that forced a temporary system shutdown. While there are currently no fines for using power banks on Taipei MRT, officials say they may seek compensation if a power bank catches fire or causes a serious safety incident. Metro officials also mentioned that all 117 stations across the network have been fitted with specialized emergency tools designed to cool and contain battery fires.
Power bank. Fire hazard. Overheating. Panic. System shutdown. Compensation. Emergency tool.
Sales of luxury homes in Taipei have plunged to their lowest level in 14 years. According to the real estate agency HB Housing, homes priced above 70 million NT recorded just 561 transactions last year, down 42.5% from 2024, and the weakest showing since 2012. Analysts say the slump is largely due to tighter credit controls by Taiwan's central bank. Luxury homes are now subject to strict loans, with buyers required to put down at least 70% in cash, keeping many wealthy buyers on the sidelines. While most districts saw sharp declines, with some as high as 70%, Neihu and Nangang held up better, with declines limited to around 10 to 12%, supported by nearby technology parks and strong demand from high-income tech workers. Looking ahead, experts expect Taipei's luxury property market to remain cautious, with buyers focusing more on location and long-term value.
Luxury home. Transaction. Slump. Credit control. Put down. Demand. Long-term value.
A team of Taiwanese bakers have placed second at the Bakery World Cup, which took place in Paris earlier this week. Taiwan was represented by traditional bread specialist Gao Chi Wei, laminated and flaky breakfast pastry expert Zhang Shibin, and Peng Xinro, who was tasked with creating a giant bread sculpture under the theme of the great inventions of your country. The team combined Tia Guanyin tea from Taipei's Muzha area and dried pineapple, incorporated it with Taiwan fruits into sweetbreads inspired by the 101, and the whole thing was then sculptured into 3 Taipei 101 buildings for the team's final pastry. The competition at the Paris Expo Porte de Versailles drew 10 teams from around the world. Taiwan previously won the Bakery World Cup in 2022 by a team led by Justin Wu, who now serves as this year's team's coach.
Bakery. Pastry. Sculpture. Incorporate. Competition. Team coach. Specialist.
The Ministry of Labour is proposing changes to the labour pension system that would give retirees more time to reconsider how they receive their pensions. Under the draft amendment, workers who choose to receive their labour pension as a monthly payment would be given a 30-day grace period after the first payout to switch to a lump sum payment if they change their minds. Labour officials say the change is aimed at better protecting workers after seeing frequent appeals from retirees who later realised their monthly payments were much smaller than expected. The proposal would also clearly ban employers from refusing to process voluntary pension contributions. If employers fail to comply, penalties and late fees could be imposed. The ministry says the reforms are designed to give workers more flexibility and security. The changes could affect more than 13 million workers who currently have individual labour pension accounts under the system.
Labour pension. Retiree. Lump sum payment. Grace period. Voluntary contribution. Penalty. Flexibility.
Australia's Prime Minister Anthony Albanese has welcomed Parliament's passing of anti-hate speech and gun laws following a deadly shooting at a Jewish festival on Sydney's Bondi Beach last month. Authorities say the attack was inspired by the Islamic State group. The gun laws passed on Tuesday introduce new restrictions and a government-funded buyback program. The anti-hate speech laws allow for groups not classified as terrorist organizations to be banned. Australia's Home Affairs Minister says the alleged gunman would not have been allowed to possess guns under the new laws. The opposition party argues that the anti-hate speech legislation could limit free speech.
Anti-hate speech. Gun law. Deadly shooting. Terrorist organization. Restrictions. Buyback program. Alleged.
American free solo climber Alex Honnold will be attempting to scale the Taipei 101 without ropes or safety nets on Saturday. The climb will be broadcast live by Netflix. Honnold will be scaling all 101 floors of the 1,667-foot structure, and he's acknowledged that the challenges posed by the building's vertically and repetitive structures or bamboo box sections are the hardest. The event will be hosted by American sports anchor Ellie Duncan. She'll be joined by American professional rock climber and mountaineer Emily Harrington, Canadian climbing commentator Pete Woods, and WWE wrestler Seth Rollins, who will provide real-time analysis of Honnold's climb. Netflix's live program, Alex Honnold Skyscraper Live, will run for approximately 2 hours, and it begins at 9 a.m. on Saturday.
Free solo climber. Scale. Verticality. Structure. Real-time analysis. Broadcast live. Approximately.
Looking for the hottest music and exciting updates? Follow ICRT on YouTube and all social media!